Hello, everyone. My name is Saeeda Jaffar. Welcome to the latest episode of Journeys Unpacked. Today, I am joined by Michael Chalhoub. Michael is the President of Strategy, Growth, Innovation, as well as Investments for the entire group. Michael, great to have you here today.
Thank you for having me here, Saeeda.
Pleasure to have you. And Chalhoub, as most of us know, have some of the most iconic brands in the region: Louis Vuitton, Dior, Fendi, Sephora, amongst many, many others. One of the things I'm most curious about is which of those is Michael's favorite, but we'll come to that later. And I know, Michael, you are an entrepreneur at heart. Before joining the group, you had a lot of experience doing many things, entrepreneurial things for yourself before coming and joining another great entrepreneurial adventure.
Absolutely, and I'm very proud to be able to make my journey within the Chalhoub Group. I've joined in October 2020 as President of Strategy, Growth, Innovation, and Investment, where I can find a little bit of time for such entrepreneurial ventures, and including the greenhouse, which is a little bit of our hub for entrepreneurship, intrapreneurship, and accelerators of sorts. So we're very proud to be able to bring more entrepreneurial spirit into the Chalhoub Group, which is obviously a company that was built on the entrepreneurial vision of my father and my grandfather before him.
Wonderful. Lovely to have you here. And I am looking forward to talking a lot about the luxury retail world and unpacking that a little more. So the UAE is a phenomenal luxury market. I mean, based on some of the numbers, we are looking at above $4 billion in spend this year. And this number has only grown by leaps and bounds over the last few years. How do you see this market evolving over the next few years? And do you think the future will look the same as the past?
I think the UAE is poised for considerable growth. And we can see that the UAE has GDP growth that is higher than the world, and in particular in high-end fashion and in prestige beauty, where the world is at 5 to 7% growth. The UAE is poised for 8 to 9% growth. UAE is the largest market within the GCC, making up 66% of sales of the whole GCC countries, and growing at plus 23%. So a much bigger trend than the rest of the GCC. The UAE has become a powerhouse for luxury retail, including prestige beauty, skincare, jewelry, fashion. And I think one of two reasons. One is we have very strong macroeconomic fundamentals in the UAE, and an infrastructure that allows for tourism and mall openings that never cease with time. But also because I think that the trend is mainly towards digitalization and e-commerce, and the UAE has been a hub for that, and e-commerce has been growing at plus 44% in the UAE, which has been a significant growth and has been extremely healthy for the industry.
Absolutely. I mean, those are some really big numbers. Let's unpack that a little. So you said 23% growth just in terms of the tourism, et cetera, in terms of retail. I'm curious, do you have a sense of, is this mostly tourists? Is this residents? Like, what's driving some of this growth?
So I would say in the last few years, there's been a hike in tourism, but also a hike in expats in the Middle East that have been driving more population growth and more consumption growth. Okay. So I think that's been very important for the health of the UAE, but our client base is mainly from the GCC, and so within our top 5 nationalities, 4 of those nationalities are GCC countries. And so for us, it's really, really important to appeal to a local, loyal clientele that
Yes,
stays
indeed.
here over the long term and that remains loyal within our boutiques.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's interesting. So 4 of your 5 are at GCC, and I assume a large part of them are probably also repeat customers.
Exactly.
So here it's almost a flagship, right, for fashion lovers all across the region that come here and they consume.
Well, we try to retain our customer through a variety of different things, including a loyalty program that's called Muse, including the possibility of introducing tech to retain our customer through machine learning and AI. We target and we segment our customer in a way that allows us to really dig a little bit deeper into the local customer, the Gulf customer. And so for us, it's been an important strategy to be able to be of strong appeal and to be able to retain that customer as much as possible.
Very interesting. You mentioned 44% growth in e-com, if I heard you correctly.
Yes.
That's, again, a big number. That's almost double of, I guess, the overall growth. And if I think of most of us, right, the way we shop has changed in many, many ways. In fact, some of the surveys we've done very clearly show that roughly 2/3 of the consumer don't look at shopping as either just physical or just e-com, right? It's a combination of the two, and you start somewhere, you end somewhere, and it's all kind of mixed. And you don't go shopping, you're always shopping.
Absolutely. It's a customer journey today, and that customer journey sometimes starts with you browsing on your phone, being targeted by some digital marketing, wondering how those shoes would fit you, going to try those shoes on, pondering upon the price, the color, maybe going back home and looking at the same shoes with some loved ones, and then coming back into store, or perhaps just purchasing them online. And so for us, this is a virtuous cycle that accompanies our customer throughout her journey, throughout digital marketing, throughout e-commerce, throughout in-store experiences and in-store journeys, and even after the purchase, accompanying our customer through her journey with the product that we sell her. So more and more, it's not about the product, but it's about the experience around it. And that experience always includes, or at least for 2/3 of the people, includes at least one digital touch point.
That's very interesting. And I'd be so curious to learn about some of the, I guess, innovative techniques, ways you guys are using, maybe AR, VR, or other things. For example, I know that in some of the stores, some of the areas, they have these awesome digital mirrors, right? And you can go stand in front and you can see what you look like without actually changing anything. And you go, I like it, I don't like it. Oh, that's a good one. Send it to me, things like that.
Absolutely. And for us, it's been a lot about trying to understand our customer and what she wants, what she needs. And what we've noticed, for example, we were talking about this with one of our tech colleagues yesterday, is that more than 50% of the people that enter a luxury beauty retailer does not want to try the beauty product on, such as lipstick.
That's right.
And so for them, it's really important to see how they would look in such color or with such stature. And so for us to be able to offer them that experience through augmented reality has been a huge difference maker, where today they can, exactly what you were describing, they can sit in front of a mirror or stand in front of a mirror and try something on without having to put that lipstick on their hands, wash their hands afterwards. Or that's the part of the experience that they have today, which is fantastic for them.
That is really, really cool. I'm actually going to go try that out because I've never tried that out in cosmetics. I've done that in clothes and other retail, but not cosmetics.
Well, in cosmetics, it becomes a little bit more personal because what you wear them on your skin.
Yes.
And so oftentimes people will use their hands or a piece of paper to try things on. But there's nothing like the color of your lips, the color of your cheeks, the color. And so for you to be able to try this on through the virtual reality that we can accompany you with is a real difference.
Absolutely, and it's great because you can do it. Everybody can try it, but it's also very hygienic. It's also very clean.
Absolutely.
So I get it. No, that's a good one. I'm definitely going to try that out, and I'll let you know how that one goes.
Please do.
Indeed. I know one of the other areas that we've talked about this before, that you're using a lot of technology is in hyper-targeting and in making sure you're engaging with your customers in a very focused manner, in a place and time with an offer or something that's relevant to them. Would love to hear what you're doing in that.
Well, today the real luxury is hyper-personalization. And the real luxury is to be able to speak to a person in her own language, to be able to target her with her needs, and to be able to answer to some of her pain points with solutions that are catered to her. And so for us, it's really, really important to be able to follow her in her journey and hyper-personalize the experience that she has around it, hyper-personalize the product. And so, as you were saying, we're partners to a lot of international brands, but we try to localize some of the products. So we'll work with them on capsule collections or on first-time offers that start in the Middle East before entering other places, so that the customer that we have in our stores feels like she's special and she's unique, and we answer to what she wants, what she needs, in whichever way that we can. And so hyper-personalization of both the experience and the product has been an extremely big focal point for us, and we've been trying to do our best to introduce it in our stores with our digital platforms as much as possible.
That would be pretty cool. Again, I don't think you'll ever hear a customer say, I don't want an offer that's relevant to me.
Exactly.
Right? It's always, I don't want all the junk, but I do want what is relevant to me. So it'll be exciting to see as you go along on that journey. Look, I mean, we've talked about many things already, but then at the end of the day, there is that penultimate moment, right? That when the customer says, I like it, I'm going to get it, now let's make the payment.
Absolutely.
Right? This is where it becomes mine. Help us understand a little bit. How do some of these consumers pay? And what are some of the trends you're seeing in that?
Well, most of them are now paying by credit card. I think that cash is not a trend anymore. And the credit card payments...
to be clear, Visa cards.
Visa cards.
Okay.
Absolutely. Visa mainly, but have been, it's been important for us to be able to accept their payments, but not just in front of the cash desk, but on the go, because that's what you can do today with your credit card. You can pay wherever you are, and so we'll be able to follow our customer to the fitting rooms or wherever she prefers to pay. And with credit card payments, Visa card payments, she'll have a much easier time doing so. So I would say today, most of our transactions are done by credit cards, but we also realize that more and more there's a trend towards buy now, pay later. And this is something that our customers unexpectedly are asking for. Because yes, we are catering to perhaps high net worth individuals, but that would still want to benefit from the potential benefits that we can give them. So BNPL has been bigger and bigger for us, and that comes at a cost for us, but it's a cost that we're ready to absorb because we want to follow our customer in whichever way that she wants to pay and whichever trend that she wants to follow. And BNPL has been a huge trend for us.
So digital credentials, credit cards, and installments is what's top of mind.
And I know that you guys are launching an installment program, so that's a fantastic new way that we'll have to hopefully offer her solutions with her credit card or with her phone payments.
Absolutely. I'm looking forward to coming in, testing out some of the cosmetics, and then purchasing it on my Visa installments, 100%. Soon, that will happen soon.
Amazing. I look forward to that.
Indeed, indeed. And then I'm curious, as part of what you do, you see a lot of the most, interesting, innovative, creative things out there. Of all the stuff that you've seen, you've experienced, what are perhaps the most, your most interesting payment accessories?
I mean, for me personally, I like to use my phone to pay. I like to use my phone because the phone is the one thing that you keep wherever you go, is the one communication platform for my kid, for my partner. And so it's really, really important for me to be able to do all those different functions, including payment through my phone. So I have an iPhone. I work with Apple Pay quite a lot. And I barely carry a credit card on me anymore. So thankfully, my Apple Pay is connected to my credit card.
Yes.
And I'm very lucky to be able to use my phone for all those payments.
Yeah, in fact, I think our part of the world has some of the highest use of tokenized transactions and tap to pay of anywhere.
That doesn't surprise me. And when I go to different countries, when I travel, I often forget to take my credit card with me. And when people tell me, well, you need to insert your physical credit card, I sometimes have to feel embarrassed and refuse the purchase because I often now forget my credit card at home.
Yes, and even if you have the PIN and everything, right?
Exactly.
So it's so much easier to have the digital tokenized on the phone, and then you use, I agree.
Absolutely.
But that's the great thing about being in our part of the world, right? We're always up with the latest and the most innovative payment methods.
The technological advances in Dubai have been fantastic, and so it's true that we've managed to some extent to keep up with those latest technological trends, and you guys have done a wonderful job doing so as well.
Thank you. Now the question that I know everybody's been waiting for, certainly I've been waiting for, which is your favorite Chalhoub brand?
It's like asking you to choose between your different kids.
I can do it. I have one.
I have one too, actually. So perhaps my favorite brand, I should say, is the Chalhoub brand. No, it's going to be very hard for me to choose one specific store. We have fantastic relationships with all our brand partners, and we represent some fantastic brands within the region. And I enjoy shopping in most of them, if not all of them. So.
I'm sure you do. I do too, as do most of us. Thank you so much.
You're always welcome. Thank you, Saeeda.
Pleasure having you here, and thank you for sharing all those insights.
It's been great to be here.
Thanks.
Likewise. Thanks a lot.
Thanks. Until next time, on the next episode of Journeys Unpacked.